I welcome you all for another day, for another great session. Today's special speaker is Master Madhavi Gali garu. Again, our salutations to start with Pita Mahapatriji, Prabodh Achyutha Master. Thank you for your guidance and your wisdom sharing with us. Madhavi Gali Master joined PMC in 2020, had a great spiritual wisdom from Pranahita and various masters in PMC itself. And the most important thing is she did a Gudakesha session in 2021. She was from T4 batch and she was enlightened by Master Prabodh Achyutha garu itself with his wisdom, and therefore volunteering her services in taking the Hindi Gudakesha sessions as a group leader and speaker and other activities as well. And today's special topic, Master Madhavi Gali garu is talking about channeled knowledge from Rishis. Hope you all had a great session. Master Madhavi garu, the floor is all yours. Thank you.
Hello, friends. Before I start the session, I would like to, convey my deepest pranams to all the gurus who has enlightened me to this stage, and lots of gratitude to Prabodh Master for enlightening me here. Thank you. So, friends, today we are going to, usually we have a Swajay sessions or, sessions that always speaks about any great people. But today we are going to talk about the Sapta Rishis and their channeled messages through one of the masters who contacted them. And he has, collected this information. Is the voice audible now, masters?
Yes, we can hear you, ma'am. It's a good audio.
Okay. So, one of the masters who contacted the Sapta Rishis and, got the messages from them. And, he channelized through the messages that has the Sapta Rishis network, and he collected the information, and he has written a book on it. And the book title itself is The Channeled Knowledge from the Masters, from the Rishis. So the master is none other than Krishnanandaji. So Krishnanandaji, he has contacted one of the great masters, Amara. And Amara, before, Krishnanandaji reaches Amara, he himself has contacted the Saptarishi and started working astrally. So today, we will talk about what are the different types of doubts that we hold on in the spiritual journey. So the same thing that, when we get it cleared from our gurus and from masters like Prabodh sir also. So those kind of question and answers we will be talking about today. So it's like more of interactive if you are wanted to participate in it, or otherwise I will be, taking it on myself. Whichever way it is good, we will be taking it on. So the first question, which is also related to Gudakesha, is, does Yoga Nidra help astral travel? So anybody wants to answer that, you can answer. Otherwise, can keep it on moving. You can just type it on yes or no. Does Yoga Nidra helps astral travel? Yeah. So, yes, thank you, friends. So, Yoga Nidra, so what the Saptarishis has given the answer is not only Yoga Nidra, but other elements as well, like, we have to control our emotions and keep ourselves, without any negative emotions during our entire day, and have a relaxation practice. So all these elements contribute to the astral travel smoothly. So this is one of the, basic questions that was asked to Saptarishis. The second one, like I have collected some of the very important questions which we haven't heard before. The second one is like, we have so many emotions that are coming up to every day, like negative, positive, mixed. Sometimes we interact with different kinds of souls. So how do we refine our emotions? So every day we should ensure that we practice this kind of habit to refine our emotions. So when we ask this question, when the people asked this question to Krishnananda ji, he answered, it's like he got it from the Saptarishis, and he answered in a way that we need to do two steps. One is you have to refine your negative emotions to positive emotion. And after preventing or removing your negative emotions from your life, then what you need to do is shifting these emotions to higher vibrations. The same practice, if you look at it, the same practice even we observe in Gudakesha. And whenever, Prabodh sir says, like in Hindi, he says Nakaratmak Drishti and Sakaratmak Drishti. It's like, when you give the right direction to the wrong events, like whenever the wrong things happen in your life, you have to give a positive approach towards it, so that, you can, get rid of that negative emotions. And when we practice this daily, we will hold on to have a higher vibration to 24/7. So that is what is again conveyed by them. And then the next question is, we will say, like, we should have that thought power. When manifesting things, we should always focus on thought power. So here they ask, like, how do we strengthen our thought? We have to strengthen our thought, isn't it? So how are we going to do it? Simply, if we sit in meditation, and if we have the deep, urge to ask that uh, masters, that this is the manifestation I want, and if I put it one single time, is it going to manifest? Or how is it going to manifest if we have that thought power? So here they say that if you have a thought, and if you want to strengthen the thought, you need to keep repeating the thought. So when you first thing is, you need to be very clear about it. When you have the clear, concise idea of what you are going to, hold that thought as, the first thing is, like, sometimes what happens is, like, we simply say, like, if I want to have a good health, then I will say, like, my health is stronger, I am stronger. So these are the affirmation and thoughts, we keep sending it. But remember, whenever someone asks, like, how are you? Then say, like, my health is not good. So this kind of, different way of words that we choose also have impact. So when we are clearly know that what we are talking about, then we should have a clarity on what we are asking. And when we have that clarity, the thought, the thinking, and often repeating it, it will strengthen the vibration of thought, which will be released in the universe. So this is one of the good question, I thought. And then usually we say, like, when the question is, do we receive different types of energy when we meditate at different places? So suppose if I am sitting any place, and if I am, so some people says, like, I'm affected by that, bad energies over that place. So is it really dependent on the place where we meditate? So the answer they have nicely put is no. When we meditate, what exactly happens is the chakras release energies, and simultaneously what we are going to get is the energies from the cosmos, which we all know, the higher place, not from the place where we sit. Instead, when we are sitting at different places, we will release our good energy to that surroundings. That is a reason when we say, like, when we meditate in a home where there are non-meditators, our meditation energies, releases into the house, and they also turn themselves into meditators. So that is the reason we always meditate. So that meditation place is not dependent on any place where we are sitting and meditating. And then they will ask, like, who is Kali Purusha? We often, heard about this name, Kali Purusha. So then he says, like, he is part of Mahavishnu. So what is his role in our lives? Like, why his name is coming out in this Kali Yuga? So he says that he commands the dark forces on the earth, particularly during Kali Yuga. So whenever we have lot of dark forces that comes on the earth, either by wars or pandemics, so this person's job is to removing those dark forces. So that is the answer for the Kali Purusha. And you all know that, we right from the mineral kingdom, animal kingdom, and plant kingdom, and to human form, we all are souls. Everyone has their own consciousness. So this is a basic question, actually. I think you all might be knowing it, but still I have taken this question. Like, do you all know where the tree has a soul? Can anyone answer? In the tree, where does the soul exist? Like, we have different 5 layers of bodies. Does anybody wants to answer this? Like, where in a tree the soul exists? Okay. Yeah. So here the Saptarishi says it's not the root masters, it's the trunk. The trunk of the body has the soul. So in a tree, the trunk, the center part of the body has the soul. Okay. So you might be knowing is, like, there was one guy who's known as Nostradamus. Okay. So, sometimes what we say is, like, we connect to angels, and those angels have different names, but we also have, like, in our Indian religion, we also have some Devadutas, but the same name will be changed to the English names. So similarly, the Nostradamus is also one of the important person who has his relevance in Mahabharata also. So if anybody wants to answer, like, who was Nostradamus? So you would have heard, like, Nostradamus is a person who predicted the future of our earth, the existence, like, how is it going to be in the future. So he is the person who predicted. So I have just told that he has a relevance in Mahabharata. So can anybody answer, like, which character Nostradamus is? No, masters, not Shekuni. Any other answer? No, Vidura, not Bhima. Okay, I'll reveal the answer. The answer is Sanjaya. Sanjaya is the person. No, ma'am. Sanjaya is the answer. Sanjaya is the person who has, narrated the Mahabharata, the story, the narration when Krishna told to Arjuna. He was the one person who narrated it to Dhritarashtra. So the same person is the Nostradamus. Okay. So the next question is, we know that eclipse happen, every now and then. So what is special about eclipse? What are their what will exactly happen if we talk about the spiritual aspects of eclipse? What it is going to happen during eclipse, and how is it important to the meditators and the rishis and the entire universe? So the rishis says that when the eclipse happen, they release special energies. So these special energies, they will be gathered and stored in a research in a place, okay, in a place in the universe. So you might be wondered, like, even we would be thinking, like, at one point of time, we will be meditating it. After that, meditation is not required. But have you ever, given a thought like, still the gods like, Mahadeva, Vishnu, Sapta Rishis, and all the Rishis, they will still meditating. They have achieved their salvation, they have achieved their mukti, but they still be meditating. And why they are meditating and for what it is, the meditation is about. So here they say that these people add those energies to the same storage bank where this eclipse energy is stored. And this entire energy will be used whenever there is a big force to, to do. Like suppose if there is a tsunami to occur, or if there is a pralaya to happen, then those energies will be used for the purpose, for that purpose. So these energies will be keep storing in that storage bank. And also he says that this energy is also used for the what do you call, to faster the spirituality ascension. You might be, we also have been, observed this thing happening with all of us. Like when the pandemic happened, suddenly from nowhere, everyone started meditating. The PMC has globalized like in a very, very big way. So everybody connected to Zoom and everybody started meditating. A huge ascension has happened during the pandemic. So it doesn't happen like that. There is a lot of planning goes behind, and these kind of things happens when they release this energy to have that lot of awakening in the on the earth. So this is one of the reasons these people still meditate, and we should also meditate in the same way. So, and again, there is a one question. So whatever happens, okay, whatever happens in our life, they ask the Saptarishis, is it all predetermined? That means whatever happens, so he says like, yes, the future is already happened. The future, whatever we think like the future, whatever is going to happen, it's already happened. And then why the manifestations and other things are coming into the picture is we can change our future through our creativity. That's the reason, we keep hearing that you can create your you are the creator, and you are the co-creator. These words are often heard because you can create, you can change it. If you don't like the blueprint which you have designed, you can modify it. You can make changes to it. So that's the reason. The answer he says is like yes and no. Yes, because the future is already happened. No, because we can always change our destinies and alter it by spiritual means. Okay. So when we talk about enlightenment, who in our system, the body, the mind, and intellect gets enlightened? So we like, what are the actual thing that gets enlightened? When we say like, I am an enlightened person. So what exactly we mean by enlightened? What is that getting enlightened? Is it our body, mind, or soul? So here they say that it's not the body, mind, and intellect. It is our soul that always gets enlightened. And you also would be seeing, like, when you see that, if you follow that angel things, there will be like 4 1s or triple four. These numbers keep occurring to some of the meditators, and we would be thinking like, what is it? What they are, the higher planes or higher masters are conveying to us. So these people says, like, some of the portals, when they open, we could receive these kind of messages. So I was wondering, like, when the portals are opening, we are still here, then what is exactly we mean by the portals opening? That means the portals are opening for the soul. The soul could access the higher dimension. And at that time, we could see these kind of messages. So it's the soul that's get always enlightened. And one next question is, does a negative experience help us spirituality? We should always, talk about, like, always positive, keep our vibration positive and emotions positive, and we should relax for our spiritual ascension. But does the negative emotions also helps in spirituality, or sometimes is that a good thing to have a spiritual ascension? Then he says, like, yes, sometimes the negative emotions or the negative events that happens will also helps us achieve in spirituality. I could give you one example over here. See, when we have this Mahabharata thing happening, is it not because of Arjuna's negative emotion that the entire Mahabharata has taken place? The Bhagavad Gita narration taken place. If Arjuna was not negative about his course of event, the Bhagavad Gita would not have been taken place. The fight would have been occurred and the Mahabharata would have ended. But it is because of the negative emotion of Arjuna, the Bhagavad Gita has narrated by Krishna. So friends, even sometimes these negative emotions leads us and leads us in our spiritual ascension in a big way. Okay. And okay, this is one of the good question, like, in spirituality, when we are doing so many positive things and keeping ourselves relaxed and always, ensure that we are not going in a negative way. So that means we are very humble. So here the question is, like, if we become humble, how can we survive in this world of competition and aggression? Every day, whoever are working or whoever in on the earth, they will be, experiencing this rat race kind of thing. Okay, so how are we going to survive in this situation where everything is so so competitive around us? So he says that when we are really humble, when you say that you are really humble, when you are really humble, God operates through us. That means it is no more you. It is the masters that will, take charge of your life. And when we are, and at that time, when you completely, surrender to the universe, they will be protecting you and guided you, and we can survive in the world. So that is how we can see so many miracles happening when nothing, goes in our way, and we completely surrender and things starts happening. And so many miracles the meditators experience. So it is because of this reason that we should always surrender to our higher universe. And there is one one question, like, when we talk about karma, then the question is asked, like, when a soldier, like, intent of killing is karma, right? So here the question is, does a soldier who kills other attracts karma? So soldiers' job is to kill others to protect our nation. So when he is doing that, does the karma affects him? So he says, the Rishis says that it is not the soldiers who get attract to that karmas, but the people who declare wars. So the people who declare wars, the higher people who declare wars, because they can avoid it, but still they will declare wars. So those people will be getting involved in those karmas. And there is one question like, physical body has 5 sensory perceptions. Okay, how many does astral body has? So here says that it also has 5 sensory perceptions, but in a much heightened way. It can, so much heightened way in the sense like, we have a touch, the other 5 sensory perceptions. But here, the heightened way is through the telepathy, or they can read thoughts, each of the other person without any efforts. So that is their that is their sensory perception, which they have mentioned. But here only the telepathy they have mentioned, but there are many other things that is not included here. Okay, so is meeting a guru is predetermined event. So we all met, Prabodh Master. So do you think that it is like we have planned to meet him at any workshop or any place that, do you think like that? So here they says like, whenever we meet Guru, it is not the planned event. It is already predetermined event. That means it's already written that we are taking this birth and we are about to meet all the Gurus at that particular point of time. So, and one more very interesting question is, in the spirituality, we all know that what is aura. So, and who doesn't know, I just want to tell you that aura is, if you gaze at people 1 inch above the person, you can see a light around them, the entire body. So that is called aura. So the question here is, how far the aura stretch? How far the aura stretch? So when I just said like it is 1 inch from our body. So how long it is going to stretch? So here the answer is, ordinary people, the non-meditators, the aura will be like 1 or 2 inches, just above, like surrounding our around our body. But a good meditator, will have an aura of about 6 inches. Okay, 6 inches. Then do you at least think about how the aura stretched for Lord Buddha? It is like many miles. So his aura has stretched for many miles. So as you meditate, as you keep on meditating, the aura will be stretches like anything. So that is the answer. Then how does astral travel help sadhana? In Gudakesha, we always emphasize on the astral traveling. That is actually the signature thing of Gudakesha, because as we keep on doing the sadhana, we have that astral traveling happen to many people. So what exactly happens when you have this astral travel sadhana? So astral travel sadhana, our level, our capacities to see, understand the things of the other world will be improved. And also, apart from that, we will be getting the knowledge from the universe, which may take for us like little long time. But when you do the astral travel, you are going to get more knowledge from the universe. So astral travel, the Saptarishis emphasizes that the astral travel is very, very important, because this is how you will try to get the knowledge. And when you get the knowledge, you can spread that knowledge. So they says that every meditator should do the astral traveling sadhana more. Okay. So, and one more question is, if we are angry, so if we are angry, we usually like when we were not meditating, we used to have this emotion with everybody over here. So does our energies, like when we are angry, our energy changes into, negative emotions and negative vibrations. Will that energies be affecting the other people? So they says that if they are non-meditators, if they are the other person is a non-meditator, it will definitely affect them. But if they are meditators, and if they understand, if they have higher energies, to absorb things, then they will absorb these negative energies, and they will, energies will not be affecting them. So they will just, make it too positive. That means they doesn't have much impact on them. They will just, understand the thing that the negative vibration shouldn't have impact on them. So they can avert that. And the next question which I have considered is, how do we prepare for a peaceful death? Most of one of the important fear that mankind has is death fear of death. Like, how is it going to be when it is? So how can we make it peaceful? Everybody wants a peaceful death. So how can we have a peaceful death? So here the Saptarishi says that by living peacefully. So it is not like, we should ensure that the last stage of our life should be peacefully, but the entire life, like after we come into the spirituality, we start living in a peaceful state. So when we live in peacefully, there is no peace without love and vairagya. So the peaceful means, the word peace, what exactly we mean by peace is love and vairagya, detachment. When you are completely detached with everything and you have only the love vibrations in you, then you are in a peaceful state. So when you have the peaceful state, you won't be having a fear of death. So that is how we can, have a peaceful death planned for all of us. So one more question is like, how do I make out that I take a right decision? This is very, very important for all of us, because we need to take many decisions during our life. Okay, at one point of time, we always goes wrong, and sometimes we be very correct, accurate over our decision. So if we want to have always the right decision, so what are the steps that we can take? So he says, like, there will be many situations where it will be difficult to take decisions, but the Rishis, the Krishnananda ji says that you have to pray to Rishis. Rishis, like, even sometimes some of the meditators would have also, shared their experience, like when they are meditating, even for the first or the second time, they would have experienced some kind of aroma, smells, or someone, passing nearby. So this is like Rishis monitor us every minute, like every time. They don't come to us, but they have the power to monitor from a very long distance. So every meditation is monitored by the Rishis. So it is like, the Rishi network, and above that, the God's network will be there. It is the first Rishis who will be doing this kind of job. Like, they will take care of each meditation, and they monitor the meditation. That's the reason we, sometimes feel like some gurus, some Rishis are with us when we were meditating. So the same thing, he says, like, when you pray for the Rishis and ask them that you seek for their intelligence in taking decision, they will always be helping us through our intuitions. So that's the reason, we get intuitions. So through that intuitions, we would be taking the decisions. And are they going to take the decision? No, it is us. Sometimes even the intuition comes, we take a wrong decision. So that is how the wrong decisions happen. When the intuition comes, they will be giving the right knowledge, but sometimes we don't like it, and we often, like, sometimes we, tend to ignore that intuition, and we take our own decision. So universal intelligence, the great masters, the Rishis, guide us through our intuition. So intuition, whenever you get the intuition, never ignore them. Have a note of it, and try to have both sides of it. Then you start believing in them. The faith increases, like, okay, I am surrendered to God, and how would I know that I'm getting messages? So this is how, like, when you have intuitions, try to follow them, try to identify the patterns of the intuitions. Then you can easily connect, like, next time, okay, when I am about to take a decision, what is the intuition that masters are giving to us? You can catch that intuition, and take the right decision. Is there any shorter way of sadhana than meditation? So nowadays, we see that nobody is interested in doing meditation, though we do a lot of dhyan prachar and try to ask them to meditate. So in the situation, he asked, like, is there any shorter way of sadhana? So he says, yes, there is a way. The way is to completely surrender to God. If a person is completely surrendered to God, his life, everything, that is also a kind of sadhana than meditation. One of the interesting questions is, are the rishis, and we have light workers, right? So both are different or same? This is one of the question asked to the rishis. So he says, like, rishis and light workers are different. Rishi, all work is one, but these approaches for rishis and the light workers will be different. Rishis work in all yugas. Like in every yuga, you would be experiencing the rishis help. Okay, so this is like rishis work in all the yugas. Light workers are volunteers. They are the volunteers from the other locals and galaxies. So they work at the end of Kali Yuga or during the Kali Yuga. Light workers channel energy. So their level of work is at the energy level. So they work at the energy levels. But rishis will be like doing much more than that. Like, there will be like a research center. They will access the research center, which have more knowledge, and they try to get the knowledge and passing that knowledge to the humankind. But and much more than that, actually. So whenever we meditate, the rishis will be like monitoring us. So many things they would be doing, but the light workers will be only visible during our Kali Yuga, like when we are in a Kali Yuga. And one more question is, like, when things go, many things are going bad around us. So we call those bad things as adharma. So how far can we go in fighting adharma? Adharma happens and we can't take a decision, and we can't fight. So how long we can fight the adharma? This is one of the question that will be asked. So here this is like, as far as your strength and wisdom is, if you have enough strength and wisdom to fight against the adharmas that are happening around you, then you can fight. But if you want the another level of fighting against adharma is, let the light do all the work. So if you come across such an act, pass it on to the light. So you surrender to the God. In short, they say, like, it's surrender to the light, to the God. So whenever you are hurt or humiliated by someone, surrender to God. God takes care of everything. So the other question is, between japa and meditation, which is superior? By now, we all know which is superior, but just want to, again, answer this question through the book. Meditation. Japa takes our awareness to the level of mind. So what exactly we mean by this is, like, when you keeps on doing the japa process, what you are exactly doing is you are abstracting yourself, the distraction. You are focusing on your mind. So that is what the japas are helpful to us. Like you are absolutely not distracting by anything and focusing only. You're trying to improve your focus. That means you are focusing the awareness of your mind, like is it distracting or not. But when we are meditating takes our awareness beyond mind. It will go to the different layers of the mind. It's like intellect and other layers. Like you can do many more things when you meditate. You can connect to the Rishi network. You can travel astrally, or you can have the language that the other worlds have through telepathy. You can have your thought power, manifestations, many things, but japas won't be having those siddhis. So meditation has many more siddhis. So what are the spiritual laws? So the Rishi says there are many actually, but they have mentioned only two. One is Yama, Niyama, and the Shambhala principles. So this is the two things they have mentioned. And the next question is, I hear music within me when I am alone. Is it because of meditation? Some people, sometimes they say that they keep hearing some music. So why is it happening to them? What is exactly mean by like when we hear the music? So what is it? So they says that whenever our anahata chakra, the heart chakra, is activated, we hear sounds. So there are different 10 types of sound. So usually the first thing they hear is the ocean sound, the sounds of the ocean. And later on, it could be veena, flute, or any other music that can be heard. So always remember that, when you are hearing these kind of musics, that means your anahata chakra is getting activated. And what are the indications of our karmas? So empowering our spiritual intentions. When we find our meditation becoming difficult, that means, sometimes a great third eye master also, after some time, they stop meditating. And they repent, like I'm not getting time to meditate, or I'm not focusing this meditation. I'm getting so many things that are coming in my way. So this is how you can identify that the karma is taking place. So when you have those karmas, they will prevent you and stop you doing the meditation. This is what they say, is that when we find our meditation becoming difficult, so when you find it difficult to meditate, when you find it difficult to sit in one place and meditate, we feel ourselves distancing from our guru. And you feel that you are distancing yourself from guru. Some people, after some time, initially they will be doing very good sadhana, but after some time they will be showing the lethargy, or they don't feel that interested to connect with guru and do the sajjan sangatya or do the sadhana. So that is because that is when the Rishi says that we have to become very, very alert that the karma is on the way. So that is the karma is acting, and that is the reason we are unable to focus on meditation. So masters, I have just collected like 20 to 25 questions from the book, and there are many more interesting questions, but I thought like time would be suffice for these questions only. So I will conclude here, and I feel immensely pleasure to have these questions and answers shared with you all. And I always have the greater I always feel very great to do the sessions like this, and I feel lots and lots of gratitude that I am sharing this with you all. And again I convey my gratitude to Prabodh Master, because he is the one person who has enlightened me in many ways in Gudakesha. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you. And thank you, friends, for, listening to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Madhavi Master. Excellent session. Of course, Rishis are the ones who will lead us in terms of meditation. Whenever we think about meditation, first we'll think about Rishis and their higher level of awareness. Yes, of course, all our like Atma Deepo. That is aiming to be in that way, right? I mean, yeah.
Correct.
I really, really liked and enjoyed listening to you talking. Thank you for sharing this with us. I think somebody raised a hand. So it's time for question and answers. So people can start talking. Let's start with Dr. K. Jayashree. Master, please go for it. Go for a question.
My soul namaskars to everybody. Hi ma'am, very good morning. It's really a wonderful session. It was very interesting. Actually, I thought to live, but I could not live. That interesting it was. Yeah, that every question was like useful for me and like answering my questions. It was. Thank you, madam. Thank you so much for giving your time and sharing your knowledge. Thank you for this wonderful topic you have selected. Thank you, ma'am.
It's all my pleasure, ma'am. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity as well.
Yeah, when I was searching, no, immediately you were in my thought and I call you and immediately you have accepted and choose this topic. It was really worth and staying here. I felt for this hour and gained so much of knowledge. Thank you, madam. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Thanks for asking a question. Dr. Sarojini Sripada Master, please go with your question. Thank you.
Madhavi garu.
Atma Vandan, ma'am.
Atma Vandan. It's very special. You had taken a different angle, I should say, and answered many people's doubts. So many doubts we will not ask, but here in this session, you have cleared many things. It's very nice. And then mention the book name.
I mentioned in the chat. Yeah, it is the topic is the same. I'm channeled knowledge from the Rishis by Krishnananda.
Okay, yes. It will be useful for everyone to go into the search for it. Thank you. A wonderful session we had. We enjoyed it, Gali. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Ma'am. Thank you so much. Anybody has any questions? We can take more. If somebody wants to share their experience, what we learned, please go for it. Okay, I take the silence as acceptance, ma'am. Very wonderful session. Thank you. Again, deepest salutations for Pitamaha Pathriji, Grandmaster Prabodh Achyutha Master, for giving us this opportunity to take these sessions, Atma Deepo Bhava. And thank you, everyone. Have a good rest of the day.
Thank you.